Previously on Our Love Story.
Yeah, it was. I actually remember we I think we texted and I was getting back and she was heading out. And I was like, oh man. It really felt like that new episode of Grownish, like when spoiler alert, uh, spoiler alert. All right, like last episode of Grownish.
Don't give them all the details. But some, it's fine.
Let's just put it like this: he was in a similar situation as me, where Aaron and Zoe, their whole dynamic and stuff. Like if you watch the latest episode as what's the date? Because my watch died and I don't got my phone.
Today is Friday, March the 6th.
So the fifth episode, March 5th. So watch that episode. And by this time it's posted, you've probably already seen it by now. But so mild spoilers, but it's like the same dynamic where something felt different. Like when I found out she was leaving, I was like, oh. It was like a loss or something. It was like the person who you're familiar with is like not gonna be there and possibly not even coming back. So it definitely was like a pause moment. Like, dang, all right. Well,
I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh at that moment.
yeah, I mean,
that was wrong timing, but
it's good. Like, cause I understand like where we are now, so it's good. But yeah, it was a moment, and I think that was one of the first transparent inclinations that something was there that I didn't even know that was there. Like through all the years and stuff, like some certain feelings. We got these like it was some legit feelings there. Like, and that was one of the moments I can recall as of since we're going down memory lane. Like there's something else there because it shouldn't hit that way. Like it should be like, oh, I'm happy for you. Yeah, it's gonna suck you're gone, but it was more like a fatal type thing. Oh man,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, since we going down memory lane, it's like kind of coming back. So that was one of the like subliminal back that like just subconscious, like something else was there. So I guess from that point, like it was the same situation for me. I had been fed up with being in California all my life and traveled, but didn't really do a lot of major traveling and stuff. So that's when I went away to school and stuff. So I had my time to like really get away from home. So when I came back and she was leaving, it was definitely a rough transition. Not major like life or death rough, but more so just like transition from being independent, being on my own, to now moving back and with my folks and sharing a space again. That's not your roommate, but it's like your parents. Hey, where are you going? What time are you coming back? And it's like, yo, I was out. So during that time, it was definitely a shenanigans period for me too. Trying to transition back and get into the swing of things. So, but as that ended, or really when it ended, that's when glorious 2013 came about. Like the end of 2013 came about, going into 2014, and that's when I knew like our communication. I just wanted it to be more consistent. Try to get things to transition. You know what I'm saying? We've been homies all this time, but it's like, hey, homie, I'm trying to see what's up though. Like, so yeah, it was 2013 transitioning into 2014. It was like a major transition for our relationship.
Right.
I feel,
Yeah, and right before I came home for Christmas in 2013, I was talking to a family friend, and I had told them what I thought. I was in confidence that I was very attracted to Yaahn. And this person shared with my brother. And then later my brother actually shared with Yaahn.
The inside scoop, bruh. The faith booster.
I was mortified when Yaahn told me. But before we revealed our feelings for each other, he didn't let on that he knew. But we were having a conversation one time, and I said, yeah, I was talking to so-and-so. And my brother ended up telling me, like, oh, yeah, so-and-so told me that you said XYZ about Yaahn. And Yaahn said, so what were y'all talking about? And it's funny because I'm all hyped, like, yeah, so she told my bro this stuff. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, like, why would you tell him that? And then he's like, so what were we talking about? And I'm like, oh, you know, girl stuff.
Yo, yeah, that was.
I was mortified because I had concealed my feelings at that point for about 14 years. You know how hard that is not to be open about how you feel about someone and then to come that close to almost slipping up and saying, yeah, you know, I was telling her I thought you was good looking and stuff. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Like, how do you come back from that? I wasn't ready for him to ask me that question. So, yeah, I played it off to we're just talking about girl stuff. And I don't know how much longer after that the revelation came as far as feelings. But what ended up happening for me as far as how I was going to tell him, I still was very nervous about just coming out and saying to him, whether it be on the phone or via text, I like you. I've liked you for this amount of time, because all those years I had no clue how he felt about me. And I wasn't ready to put myself out there and be that vulnerable without knowing how he felt about me first. So I made him a slideshow of our photos. Like, laughing already. And when I made the slideshow, the title of it was 1,000 Years. And initially the song was 1,000 Years by Christina Perry. It's very famous in the Twilight Saga. And she kept saying, I have loved you. I will love you 1,000 years. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm there, Christina. So I had to change the song to Color of Love by Boyz II Men. And before I sent it to him, I was talking to my best friend, Angela. Yeah, I did. We did talk about you possibly being in the video, so cameo for you. I showed it to her. We were on FaceTime, and after I showed it to her, I just started crying. And she's like, you need to send him the video because you need to know where you stand, whether he likes you or not. She's like, you're crying. You need to know. So send him the slideshow. So I did. I emailed it to him and was like, hey, like, let me know what you think. And do you remember what you said when I asked you, hey, so what did you think?
That's why I was laughing when you brought it up in the first place, because I was like, dang, it was one of those man. Because
it's one of those
there was
big little sis moments.
There was audio to the video.
Yeah.
And I was watching some movie, don't even know, the movie's irrelevant at this point, but I was watching a movie. And I didn't have the audio on. I just watched the visuals. And so, you know, she moved away and stuff. And so I don't know why my mind went to like maybe celebration of transition of some sort without the audio. I don't know why my brain went there, but it went there. I was like, it looks dope. Like, I don't think you need to add anything else to it. Like, and then it was, yeah. So yeah, I dropped the ball. That was
once again, like, you know, soul crushing. And I was tempted to say thank you and just go to bed. But it was just this nagging feeling of, okay, you remember what happened. What was it, like 6 years prior? How you didn't say anything. Do you want to go like another 6 years? No. So I said, we were texting because it was late. I said, hey, I just want you to know that I'm not sending you this slideshow as your sister. Do you understand that? And he said, yes. And I think I might have asked him, like, did you listen to the song paired with it?
Yes, she did. And I told her.
He said no. And then I was like, okay. So, you know, like Dumb and Dumber. So you're telling me there's a chance that I didn't blow this.
Big time. I mean, audio matters.
Yeah.
Audio.
It's that context.
It matters. I mean, you know, if you go from our history of like going from just being good homies and stuff and being friends, you know, it's gonna take like a stop. Wait a minute, and let me break this down because it's so easy to just go on the autopilot. Like, yeah, this is fire, man. Like, there's visuals, transitions on the video and stuff, and
You guys still spinning in and spinning out.
you and me and stuff, and like, yeah, like, yo, it was dope, but nah, it was more to it than that. So, like, guys, just I know we're dumb, but just sometimes let's just try to be more, there sometimes. But sometimes we do need the guidance, to navigate, and you know what I'm saying. But like, yeah, just pay attention, and then you'll go far.
And ladies, nudge, don't shove, because clearly, as you saw, me being hard in the very beginning because I didn't want him to catch on that I had feelings for him, that didn't work. So in that moment, even though I was in my feelings and I was afraid that I was once again being sister zoned, I knew that I had to be gentle. Like, hey, I just want you to know that I'm sending you this video not as your sister. And then just leave it at that, hoping he would get it. And if he still needed more of an explanation or some context, then, being open to having that conversation instead of just, shutting down, as it's often more comfortable to do. It's not easy being vulnerable, so it takes work.
Yeah. So that led to the night where it was officially disclosed. So
what was officially disclosed?
The feelings, like the mutual feelings and stuff. I just broke it down like I like you.
I like you a lot.
I like you a lot. Like it had to just really be that simple. It's funny, like now that I ain't old, but like just getting older and just living out more days of this thing called life and stuff. Sometimes the simpler the better, and like I do understand how more mature adults, how they're blunt in a good way and very direct, and it's because they've lived through so much stuff where it's like, I'm just gonna say what's on my mind,
right?
And without being offensive, but just I get that now. So like I had to grow up and really be that initial person to be like, I like you, like I have feelings for you, I'm attracted to you, and all these different things. And then that's when the metamorphosis happened in our relationship. So.
Yeah, and I appreciated that he said, I think that we should disclose how we feel to each other, and I will go first. Because my fear was, what happens if I tell this man that I like him first? And he's like, oh, wow, bro, that's wild.
Dang. Yeah.
As Urkel would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the defining moment, and everything else really stemmed from that, and just worked through, still working through, transition and stuff. But it's just, I will say that the benefit that I've experienced from my reality, my side of it, is when you're friends with someone that you respect first, it just hits different. And the classic way of doing things, is fire. It's dope. It's just like the story of like love at first sight and all that. Like that's fire if you have that fire. But I'll say from my experience, like having a friend, like there's a different level of intimacy that we had early on,
right?
Outside of sex, and obviously, with the respect of our friendship and stuff. So,
and also the vow that we made to ourselves and to God to wait until marriage.
Yeah, that definitely, going hand in hand with it. It's just different. Like, and even now, like when we talk, there is a there's a certain door and a certain lane that we can, go into with each other and let each other inside as a friend and really dig in and stuff and kind of understand how we tick and how we operate and stuff. And
Right.
so it was definitely like the glue, behind it, that respect and friendship. Certain things I just won't do, certain things I just won't say intentionally. Like, I'm going to intentionally do what I would do in my previous relationships.
Well, I won't fight no more.